What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode of B&B. I enjoyed it. I really did. I was here for this wedding. I was here for all the foolishness. I was happy when Quinn found Eric and Donna in bed. I was super happy about it. 'Cause I said it's about time. She's finally free. She can walk away peacefully from this marriage. Um, I seen some people tweeting about it, and I seen some people's tweets on Twitter saying how disappointed they were with Quinn's reaction to finding Eric and Donna in bed because she was a bit calm about it. My whole thing was, for me, in my opinion, I wasn't disappointed by her reaction because she was calm about the situation because yeah, she was hurt to find her husband in bed with his ex-wife. Of course she was hurt, but deep down she was finally free. She knew that their marriage was done. She's known it for quite some time now. I feel like her and Eric just got back together because it was hard for them to let each other go and they did it for obligation. Other than that, they felt obligated to. You know? Other than that, it's like she was finally free. You could just throw your hands up and say, Hallelujah. I'm done. That's why she was so calm. It's like, get upset. And, even she said it. Even Quinn said it. The old her would have screamed and yelled at his ass. She probably would have wanted some type of revenge. But you know what? She was like, the way I am right now, I don't even want to do all that. For what? She knew that this marriage was over. Eric knew. And he admitted, he was like, yeah, I was wrong for messing around. That was wrong. But he was like, shit, my feelings for Donna is not wrong. And he was like, your feelings for Carter is not wrong. I love that they finally had this conversation. It's sad that she had to walk in on the man screwing around. But it was a long overdue conversation because it was about time that they finally had some honesty for each other for a change. Um, and I was happy for Quinn. She can finally get the hell out of this bootleg marriage. They had a good little run. You know, they were married for 6 years and stuff like that. They had a good run, but it was time. Simple as that. It was more than time, more than enough time. They need to get away from each other romantically. You know. And I love how Quinn basically was taking off her wedding rings, but she told Eric, she said, no, 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 I'm going to keep the big diamond. I said, I know that shit right, Quinn. Keep that diamond because you put in 6 years, and I do mean 6 long years. You had to sleep with this old geezer. You had to deal with him being on top of you with his pickleball, grunting and moaning for all the 10 seconds. You had to put up with that shit for 6 years. Listen, and not only that, more than likely Quinn is walking out of this marriage with nothing. She probably not gonna get no money. You're not gonna get the mansion. You're not gonna get no Forrester Creation stock. You're not getting shit out of this marriage, far as I know, for right now. So it's like the big diamond. You might as well keep that because I'm pretty sure for one, it's worth a lot of money. I would sell it honestly, and get you some money. Shit, walk away with something. I hope, even though I'm pretty sure the way that her and Eric ended things, I'm sure it's gonna be amicable. But if I was her, listen, I want what I want because I'm pretty sure they probably had no prenuptial agreement, and she's entitled to half or something. You better go get you some money. Shit, you had to deal with a lot during that 6 year marriage. Don't get me wrong, Quinn ain't perfect, but it's like, you had to deal with Ridge, you had to deal with Brooke and her nonsense. You had to deal with a lot of bullshit. And again, she had to deal with that old man being on top of her for 10 seconds every other night. Just 10 seconds of displeasure. You had to deal with that old pickleball. That you deserve the world at this point in this divorce. I'm just saying. But I'm glad that they ended things on an amicable level. It needed to happen. Now she's free to go be with the person that she really wants to go be with. So anyway, moving on from that, I freaking love the conversation between Ridge and Carter because let me tell you something. Ridge is me and I am Ridge. I am that type of friend. Listen, if I feel like my friend is doing some foolishness, I am going to let you know you are doing some foolishness. And that's what Ridge pretty much was trying to tell Carter. He was like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you trying to go through with this bootleg wedding when you know good and well that ain't who you really want to be with? And Carter sitting there talking about, oh, I'm not getting any younger. Sir, you're not old. You are not old. You got plenty of time to find the right one, get married, have some babies. I'm wondering about that, about how that's gonna work between him and Quinn, because Quinn got a whole grown ass son. So how is that gonna work as far as them wanting babies and stuff like that? I mean, Quinn not really old, but she's a woman of a particular age. So it's like how that's gonna work with kids. You know what I mean? Like what? I guess we'll find out soon, but hopefully they could, the writers find a way to get her knocked up, because I would love for her and Carter to have a child. This could be her late in life child, very late in life, but late in life nonetheless. And I really do hope that Carter and Quinn sit down and talk about their future and stuff as far as babies. Cause I know Carter wants some kids, and that's gonna be hard to do because Quinn has a child that's grown, overly grown, and she, like I said, she's of a particular age. So hopefully they sit down and have that talk. But Ridge was giving me life throughout this whole thing. Ridge was like, when it was time for them, to start the wedding, Ridge came up in there. He told Carter, he said, "Yeah, unfortunately, it's time." I love that line. He said, "Unfortunately, it is time." I was like, "Damn, Ridge is acting like this wedding is all type of doom and gloom." But I can't blame him though, because I mean, when you see your friend about to marry somebody and you know it's a mistake, it's like it's hard for you to just keep your mouth shut and not tell them the real. So I respect that Ridge was telling him that. Like he needed to hear it. Quinn is who you really want to be with, and that's who you should be with. So anyway, moving on from that. Um Paris and Hope was sitting there talking. I didn't even know Paris and Hope were even friends. Like I'm like, when did this happen? Because they was talking like they besties and shit. Um Zende come up in the wedding with a gift. He done brought her a corsage and stuff, and she was like, "Oh, I'm really happy that you're here." Let me tell y'all something. I was very happy with the way that Zende handled the whole Paris Carter situation. Like he wasn't really bitter about it. He moved on. He was like, "All right, that's who you really want to be with. Cool, I'm gonna step to the side." He handled it very mature like. What I could not tolerate was him showing up to that wedding with a gift. One, if it was me, one, I damn sure wouldn't have showed up to that wedding. Two, I damn sure wouldn't have brought no gift. I'm like, that was a simp ass move. No, Zende, you're better than that. She kicked you to the curb for Carter. I respect how you've handled it so far, but you showing up to the wedding, that was a bit much. Because Hope's sitting there, "Oh, it's good. You showed up to support Paris." Fuck support. I would have been at home chilling with a model somewhere because that little model chick tried to get with him. That's what I would have been doing. Bump that wedding. I definitely wouldn't have went there. He did a little bit too much on that one. Cause I ain't about to go to some chick wedding that kicked me to the curb. Like, no, absolutely not. So, Paris was a little bummed that Grace wasn't gonna come up to the wedding or whatever, but Grace did show up. And even Grace kept trying to talk her out of doing it. Grace said, "Listen, don't do this." She said, "No, don't do this. Carter is not the man for you. He is not your future. He is not your destiny. Don't do this." Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. I always agreed with Grace and what she was saying about Carter, but I felt like her tactics were a bit too much. Like her constantly roaming the hallways the last few months of Forrester Creations, keep trying to tell everybody that would listen, "Oh, Carter need to stay away from her." I ain't like that tactic. But she wasn't wrong about what she was saying because she kept trying to warn Paris, like, "Listen, that man is running from something." Because it just didn't sit well with Grace that he got into this engagement, got this wedding started, all of that so fast. Like he jumped both feet in head first too quickly for her. And especially when she heard about what he did, to her daughter, to her other daughter and stuff, it was just a lot about Carter that did not sit well with Mama Grace. Um, and I totally understand her concerns because she's definitely right. Carter was running from something. He is running from something. He's running from the woman that he should be marrying. You know what I'm saying? Um, and he was talking about taking Paris to Paris for their honeymoon and stuff like that. And Ridge was like, "Don't do this." I totally agree with Ridge and I totally agree with Grace. This wedding is a disaster in the making. It's a hot mess. Um, so, Paris basically told Grace again, like, "Listen, this is my life. I'm grown. I'm going to do what I want to do." And, Grace ain't got no choice but to roll with it because she done said all that she can say over the last few months, even up until the last minute of the wedding. And it's like, what else can you say? She still won't listen to you. And I totally get Grace because she don't want to see her daughter hurt. But what more can you do? You just got to let her get hurt because that's what's going to happen. She going to get hurt no matter what you do. So You know, let it happen. She'll see that Grace was right in the end, you know, but she had to feel it first, you know. It happens, but I know this is gonna be a hot mess when Quinn show up to break up that wedding. So anyway, Charlie asked, he got the wedding looking all nice and stuff. I guess they were trying to go for a French theme or a Paris theme or whatever. It wasn't given. I'm just saying that. Like, it was nice looking, but it wasn't giving me French vibes. Like, it just really wasn't. For me, it wasn't. Um, so Bill showed up to the wedding because Bill Ass got invited by Hope because he's a major benefactor behind the Forrester Foundation or whatever. So she invited him because my first thought was, what the hell is Bill Spencer doing up at this wedding? He's not friends with Carter. He's not friends with Paris. So I'm like, why he here? And when they mentioned that he's a benefactor of the Forrester Foundation, I said, well, that makes sense, but that's not enough to be inviting that man to the wedding. The wedding should be for family, you know, and close friends and stuff. Bill ain't neither. So it's like he was very out of place at that wedding. It was very out of place. But it was interesting seeing Hope and Bill talking without Liam or Wyatt being around. Because usually whenever you see Hope around Bill, you usually see Wyatt or Liam around. So it's kind of interesting not to see them there or whatever and just see her there wrapping it up with Bill. But I was like, yeah, I don't know what they doing with Bill character, but they need to figure it out because I was like, he just looked totally out of place there. Like he did not belong. So anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comments, let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Peace.